welcome back to the Barrels Talk podcast. We are back with another episode, week 4 of the NFL season's in the books. We're back with our takeaways and our updated power rankings going into week 5. Got some buys coming up this week, but another interesting week of football in the books. Going to start out with just our takeaways and get right into it. I can go ahead and start because I have a takeaway about last Thursday night. The Seahawks are legit. I kind of touched on this with Nick in the episode last week. Good defense, good quarterback that takes care of the ball, and you have a good number one receiver in JSN. I think when you have that kind of trio of things going for you, sky's the limit for your team. I think if you have that baseline as a team, then it comes into the O-line performance, run game performance, like the smaller, like not smaller stuff, but like in terms of ordering that stuff. If you have a quarterback and a good defense, you can make some things happen. But I have kind of a take building off of it from last year. Like, I think Darnold and JSN, it's like a top 8 to 10 like QB receiver duo like in the league. Like, JSN has been beasting all year, and now you're kind of starting to see Kenneth Walker find his stride. We know what kind of Zach Charbonnet is when he gets his work, but like Cooper Kupp's kind of been hit or miss, but like JSN has been elite, like all over the field, no matter where you line him up. And Sam Darnold's been finding him consistently, and the Seahawks are just good. Like, they're just been finding their stride. Like, a big division win. They're going to 3-1 now. And like with the Niners and all their injuries, and the Cardinals, I feel like, are tailing off. I know the Cardinals have Green Bay after their bye, for Green Bay's bye, so they have the Cardinals like coming up like 2-2. Who knows what the Cardinals are going to be? I'm glad to see Marvin Harrison get back though. I think that's what was very needed. But I'm in on the Seahawks. I mean, Donald 18 for 26, 242 and a TUD. Kenneth Walker had 81 yards. Smith and Jigma had 80 yards off four receptions. Like, in division. I'm just in on
I like what you
Seahawks.
said.
That's all I gotta say. I think they're the sneaky team that's in the NFC. I'm not saying the Seahawks are gonna go to the championship game, but like, they're a sneaky team where, like, fuck, if they upset somebody in the wild card, I'd be like, oh, like, I'm not crazy shocked because they got a good defense and a quarterback that can push the ball downfield, and like, they're younger too.
No, I like what you said. I think it was kind of a really boring game for a while to watch, and then Seahawks actually almost blew it away. But I'm not going to beat them up for that because it's a division game. Those games are hard to win. You're playing a night game. They got the job done. Good shout out to JSN too, because he really started that game off doing nothing in the first half, maybe even much of the third quarter, but he finished strong. Like you said, only 4 catches, but he's efficient, 80 yards. Him and Darnold got this connection more downfield. I didn't know for sure at the start of JSN's career if he was just going to kind of be like this like short yardage guy and never like develop into becoming that like legit downfield threat. But it looks like you said, him and Darnold got something good going. So I like the Seahawks too, man.
I think specifically, I don't think I've seen a non-ugly game between anybody in this division. Like, on Thursday night, it's going to be another ugly game in that division.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the games in this division are ugly.
Yeah. Partially, like, the ugliness is kind of what I want to point out a little bit. I do want to say, like, the Cardinals absolutely threw that game away. Chad Ryland, like, with the kick, was supposed to just not kick it outside of the landing zone, kicked it short of the landing zone, giving the Seahawks the ball at the 40 instead of 25, 30.
They talk about that every game now. Like, every game that you're listening to.
Thing.
Like, it's damn near.
Like, this is overpowered now.
Yeah, it's almost over.
And that's a whole different conversation.
Down in the field goal range for most kickers now in the NFL.
Yeah, but the Seahawks did only have, like, they have less than a minute, and then you only have to go, like, with that new rule, and when you start at the 40 and how good kickers are now, like, you only have to get, like, 20 yards. For real. So, like, I'm not saying they wouldn't have won the game if they were at if they started at the 25, but, like, I do want to point out they were close to losing that game. The Cardinals did kind of throw it away, or at least going to OT, or was that to tie or something? So, like, it would have been, it was a close game. I'm still a little hesitant.
They lost by 3. The Cardinals
lost by 3. Okay, yeah. So I'm a little hesitant, just because, like, Darnold, honestly, and I'm a little nervous about what these weapons will look like in more high octane environments late in the season. I don't know how their late season schedule's looking. Like, I don't know how many division games they have late in the year.
I have it pulled up right now.
Okay, like, what do they have, like, the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks of the year?
So their last 4 games are Colts at home, Rams at home.
They lose that.
Panthers on the road, Niners on the road would be their last game of the season.
So, like, I just think, I don't know. I'm scared to see, like...
It's hard to say they won't be a playoff team right now, though.
Oh, for sure. No, for sure. It's just a stacked NFC. It's going to be tough. But I do have them right now. How good that defense is. They're in the playoffs, for sure.
I have their schedule right here. They don't have a tough... Like, their next 4, they got Tampa. They get that game at home next week. And Tampa's dealing with a bunch of injuries.
I mean,
they can win that game.
Tampa's hurt.
Jags in Jacksonville. That's a winnable game.
Yeah, that's a winnable game.
Texans at home. Winnable game.
Jesus.
Commanders on the road. Tougher of a game if they have Daniels. Yeah.
They can beat anybody, though. They
go through a stretch. They still got the Titans and the Falcons on the schedule, the Panthers on the schedule. Like, they have a pretty good schedule to get around 10, 11 wins, in my opinion.
Right. And they're
going to be at 10 wins.
Yeah, at least a wild card spot. I don't know how, that the division's a little tough, so we'll see if that gets you a division win. But
they would have to... Somebody in the North would have to kind of tail off.
Like the Packers?
Who knows? We'll get into that. But no, the Seahawks... The Cardinals, that was just the Cardinals' game. The Cardinals are a team that fails to win big games. I'm not saying this was a big game, but like fail to close out games and bigger spots. Like,
it doesn't help that they were completely not moving the ball at all the first half.
The James Conner absence was showing so much and how much they need him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trey Benson, I feel like still young, really good in receiving game. They were using him a lot in the ways that I did like in the receiving game in the second half. But it's just like, I hate to say, this team is only going to go as far as Marvin Harrison can kind of take them because he's their only downfield threat receiving wise because everything underneath is going to McBride and Marvin Harrison is kind of the only downfield receiver they realistically have. And without James Conner in the run game, like you're asking kind of Kyler Murray to be Superman and that can kind of be a good thing and a bad thing in the same light for Kyler. But Marvin Harrison,
that's what gets him hurt. That's what gets him hurt. Yeah. He has to go hero mode.
So I think this team is I know it's kind of hard to say because his confidence has been up and down clearly, but like this team is only going to go as far as Marvin Harrison can kind of elevate and take them in a way. That's just how I'm viewing it because the defense is okay, but I don't think their defense is coming out and winning them a game in a big time spot. But that's kind of all I have for Thursday night is just Seahawks look pretty more legit than people think.
I know there was a morning game, but my first takeaway is going to be from the noon slate. I want to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles because I don't want to have Eagles fatigue. This team, their schedule, it feels like they're in a big game every single week, and they just continue to not disappoint. The Rams one got a little scary. They come back and win. They handled the Chiefs the week before that. Here they are beating the Buccaneers, who everyone's high on. The Buccaneers had it almost seems like these two teams have built a little bit of a rivalry because when the Eagles down here a couple of years ago, they lose that game to them. But I want to talk about when we were here a few weeks ago, we got people fending for A.J. Brown. The Eagles are fucking 4-0, and A.J. Brown's posting shit online complaining. I'm tired of that shit. I don't want to hit on the national media sports topics on here too much. But Corey, you were big to be saying, hey, we need to get A.J. Brown's targets. We need to get A.J. Brown's targets eventually. This offense looks whack. This offense looks great to me. You're hanging 31 points on the Bucs. You're 4-0. Things are at an all-time high. And you got guys complaining still. I'm just tired of it. We need to give Jalen Hurts his respect. We need to give everybody on this team the respect. I don't want to hear none of this drama about this team because they are a pleasure to watch right now to me, and they've won like fucking 20 games in a row. So I didn't really have much of a takeaway from that game. More just saying, like, we're going to talk about our power rankings. This Eagles team they're the Super Bowl favorites till someone dethrones them. And I just wanted to bring back up the offensive struggles talks that we were on a couple weeks ago, questioning the Eagles, because those are all gone. They've won 3 huge games. They've won 4 huge games in a row dating back to Dallas, because that's an in-division opponent. Shout out to the Eagles. They are legit a super team.
I feel like me and Nick are about to be on the same page here. I can already tell by look on Nick's face that we're so.
Let's go.
Let me. Offensives looked great. I'm gonna take that with a grain of fucking salt because I don't think they completed a whole pass in the entirety of the second half.
They didn't. 0 for 8.
You went an entire half of football from somebody who only throws to the fucking flat, and you didn't complete a pass. So I went down and I looked at all 9 of A.J. Brown's targets. All 9 of them. I count 7 of them were uncatchable footballs. He had A.J. Brown
his
wide
7
open.
non-ones because he had 2 catches.
So he had 2 catches. So 7 of the balls that he didn't catch were uncatchable balls. 2 of them down the left sideline, thrown out of bounds. You have A.J. Brown one-on-one versus a rookie corner, and you throw the ball 5 yards out of bounds, right? So that's one. There's another one on a slant. He throws it completely behind him to the DB. There's another one where him and A.J. Brown are clearly not on.
DB, he had 0 interceptions.
It should have been picked because it was a comeback route that the DB jumped and he just didn't catch it. My whole question is, you have A.J. Brown. Outside of Jamar Chase, there is nobody better one-on-one downfield than A.J. Brown when it comes to making contested catches. He has the body and the size for it. Why are you putting A.J. Brown one-on-one on comeback routes? You're putting him, because here's the thing. I understand Jalen Hurts, and Emmanuel Ocho made a great video about it that I watched in its entirety about breaking down his targets.
Of course he did.
And all of his 9 targets. He said it perfectly. Here, damn. Those were all of the 9 targets. Here, damn targets. And I'm not saying it's just, A.J. Brown might be more vocal about it than Devontae Smith, but Devontae Smith is also frustrated.
Say nothing.
Yes, but Devontae Smith, how do you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and you can't even combine for over 50 air yards between the two? But the offense is looking great. They're winning games, I understand it, but they're winning games because of special teams, defense, and O-line play. I understand you're like, why is A.J. Brown complaining?
They're beating the best teams in their league, though, doing that. They started the game 24-6. If this game was not a game where they're up big early and this happened and they're not going to A.J. Brown, I'm right with you. We're not about to sit here and make this a Jalen Hurts thing when you're up 24-6. You're dang right there for your damn targets. Well, if the run game's working, and keep in mind, it's not like Saquon Barkley was even going off. Their leading rusher was Jalen Hurts. Their defense was the reason they won. Their O-line is the reason they won. But this when you start up 24-6, what do you expect? I shouldn't even brought this up because I'm feeding into the problem of like bitching at the Eagles. But dude, I didn't even say AJ Brown was playing bad. You can't sit here and defend him posting that shit online after the game. I know we're not ESPN. We don't have to talk about bullshit like that. But I think it's kind of relevant. Like, you cannot defend it. As much as I agree. Huh?
It's like, it's an interesting spot because like you can't defend it because again, like you have to think they've talked about this behind the scenes. You have to. There's no way Nick Sirianni and AJ Brown have not had a conversation about this. So AJ Brown legit just does not give a fuck, which I kind of respect. But it definitely shows that despite being 4-0, there are problems. And at some point, Stop it. Stop. There are problems. When your quarterback and your wide receiver 1 are not on the same page, there is a problem. I know you're 4-0. You're going to win despite it because, again, like Corey said, your defense is hella good. And despite Saquon Barkley not even having a very good season, they're still 4-0. Like, they're still winning the games. You know, like, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
Okay, but these same things happened last year. And they won the bowl. They won the bowl last year.
Yeah, but AJ Brown's numbers did get better throughout the year. And I'm hoping it happens again.
He was elite last week though, too. So
I know. But like again, he's the one posting, not me.
You're right. I just think Jalen Hurts is more inconsistent of a passer than people like to admit because he's a Super Bowl MVP. Like he's not the passer of a football that a lot of other quarterbacks are. And I think they play such a conservative, safe brand of football, not because of Jalen Hurts throwing turnovers, but just because it works and they can, so why not do it? But if you're A.J. Brown and you are as good as you are and you are a top 5 receiver, you're hearing this Jefferson, Chase, CeeDee Lamb, all these fucking guys that you're in the same conversation with, but you don't get the fucking volume as those guys because you're never in the conversation. So I think it's so interesting because it's only if they weren't winning, he'd be so valid and everybody would be for him. That's the problem I have. But since they're winning games, it's not a problem in some people's eyes. I still think it's a problem because
where do we rank the Rams in our power rankings? Where were the Rams in our power rankings?
They were last week 6th.
They were 3rd.
This week we haven't said
4.
But okay.
4.
Let's just say I have the Rams as a top 4 team in the NFL. We all do. The one time this year the Eagles have had their backs against the wall, these one time, there's been one time this year where they've been threatened to lose a game that they actually should have lost this game too. Jalen Hurts showed the ultimate ability to be a good passer, and A.J. Brown had his best game. So everything that you're saying is true to the scenarios of them just controlling and winning football games. But the one scenario this whole year, the second half of Rams-Eagles, when they were down to start it, Jalen Hurts is slinging the football. And who's he targeting? He's targeting A.J. Brown. He's going to his guy. He's going to his number one guy. And what did they do? They got in a position where they could win the football game. Obviously, a big play happened to allow them to actually win that game. I'm not ignoring the context. But also, that connection was shown in the one time it had to be. So that's why I don't like that A.J. Brown's just 1 week later acting like that wasn't the case. And maybe, you know what, he's just acting crazy and he's trolling people.
Yeah, maybe it is just he just wants consistency. There are some guys that just he won his Super Bowl. He does not give a fuck anymore about.
But you're putting your pressure on your quarterback when you do shit like that.
Oh, for sure,
dude,
for sure.
I just don't like that, and I know like
if I talk enough, maybe it'll change. If I complain enough, maybe they'll just give me the ball.
He's probably like, shit, we're good enough to win anyway. So
exactly. It's like, fuck it, we're still winning. If I complain, I'm just gonna keep complaining.
Yeah.
I just think that goes more into why I think Jalen Hurts is just super inconsistent. Like, we saw him have a great second half against the Rams after being put in a box all first half. Great second half, and he was passing the ball all downfield. But, like, when you look at the 9 targets A.J. Brown was getting, they are routine. Like, it's not like these were crazy fitting the ball in between a tight window throws. Like, these were, like, routine throws where Jalen Hurts is just throwing the ball out of bounds or throwing it too late, throwing it behind A.J. Brown. Like, I'm not saying this is all on Jalen Hurts. You could argue on A.J. Brown too, but like there were like 5 targets that were just thrown out of bounds. Like where it's A.J. Brown one-on-one on the sideline and you can't even give him a chance to get the ball. I don't know, because there was a lot of like Jalen Hurts like looked different after he got a hard hit and questions of him being concussed, but I just think it comes down to Jalen Hurts being inconsistent. You'll have the games where Jalen Hurts is slinging the fuck out the ball like the Rams, and then you'll have games where you're like, why? How bad of a throw was that? Like, he just threw the fucking ball, didn't even give A.J. Brown a chance. I just think he's just a little bit more inconsistent than people like to admit. Yes, he's great on the ground. Yes, he's great at managing a game. But, like, there's times where he's throwing the ball and you're like, the fuck? Like, how are you throwing it that behind A.J. Brown? How are you throwing it? Like, there's one-on-one against a rookie corner. A.J. Brown eats that up against if any quarterback could throw him a good enough fucking ball. Like, it's not that he's not getting the targets. It's like the targets and you're just like, it's just Jalen Hurts is inconsistent. That's my entire take.
I look at their OC about stuff like that as well. I mean, you even question the routes that A.J. Brown was running. Maybe that could be a problem in it also because
Bro ran like
Moore,
3
I felt like he was pretty
one-on-ones.
consistent. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jalen Hurts was pretty consistent all of last year. Maybe I'm wrong. You're right. He shows those bad moments. Last thing I'll say about it though is, like you said, he shows these bad throws sometimes. When you're as clutch as he is, it covers up for that. I just want it to be known. I don't think it's only the fact that his team is that elite that covers up those bad moments. Jalen Hurts is also just extremely clutch. And in the big games, and like you said, bad first half. Well, second half, he played really good. That's why they're still undefeated. So, you know, there's truth to what you're saying. I'm not going to sit here and act like Jalen Hurts is perfect. But I do think that his clutchness has to do with covering that up. It's not just people like acting like it's not happening. But
I think
just wanted to bring
he's
up
just a little bit.
Again.
He's a little bit inconsistent, and from a Super Bowl MVP quarterback, I expect him to kind of some of those targets and throws where you're just like scratching your head and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like you got to complete those throws. And to be that level of quarterback, in a lot of the conversations he's in, they didn't complete a pass in the second half. Tampa Bay has a good defense. We're not going to act like this is the fucking Seattle Seahawks of the 10s.
They're also hurt to hell.
Yeah, they're also hurt, so they didn't complete a pass in the second half. If that doesn't show you that they don't need the pass to win, there's nothing else, because they won that game and the Bucs were coming back and they didn't need to complete a pass to win that game still. So they win because of their defense and their own line, like short yardage situations. That's why they win. The other team in the league can win. So they have some tough fucking games. So I am so they play Denver, who has a tough defense this week. Then they're going to
beat the fuck out of Denver.
They should. But this stretch of Green Bay, Detroit, and Dallas again, and then they got the Bills to end the year and the Commanders twice to end the year. So we'll see what happens towards this back half of the season.
That Bills game is going to be a movie.
They got their last 5 games. Chargers at Chargers, Raiders,
Win.
Commanders on the road, Bills on the road,
Win.
Commanders. Those are their last 5. So they have a tough stretch, but
I'll be honest. They might walk into LA. They might walk into LA 12-0 to start that stretch. I'm not saying they're gonna finish undefeated, but they might be 12-0.
They're gonna lose to one of the Packers or Lions. They're gonna lose to one of those teams. They should have lost to Dallas, my opinion. But fuck.
No,
but we can get off the Eagles. We can go into Nick if you have another takeaway from.
Kind of wanted to jump into this Baltimore Kansas City game and see kind of is this
Good.
more of
I
a
can
Baltimore
piggyback off
problem?
the take I have here with this.
Yeah. Is this more of a Baltimore problem or Kansas City back?
Baltimore.
Fucking Baltimore.
Baltimore's done. I think I kind of agree. I think they're looking rough now. You're 1-3. Defense is like the worst in the league. Like
Lamar's dealing with a hammy.
Lamar dealing with a hamstring injury. Lost some people on defense as well. Like I don't know, man. It's looking tough. What do we think?
You want to go, Corey?
I think they're done.
I think they're done.
Oh my gosh! Get the fuck out of here! Go ahead, keep going. I disagree.
More so,
heavily. I heavily disagree.
More so, not because of anything other than Lamar's banged up. Like when you have a mobile QB dealing with a hammy, like
I think he got benched.
And the defense hasn't already looked. You're missing you could argue you're missing your 5 best defenders on that side of the ball. The run game hasn't been the same with Derrick Henry. Like, you've already had just bad losses. You should have beat the Bills. That's a bad loss. Detroit came in there and handled you at home. Like, ran all over you. Like, and when you're looking at who they have the Texans this next week at home, which you would think is a bounce back, but the defense has been looking so bad, so maybe the Texans can put up some points. Yeah, and Lamar's banged up. Cooper Rush ain't getting it done for you.
Defense.
Yeah.
Lamar's playing.
If he plays, that's a tough defense to go against if you're not mobile enough. Then you got the Rams. That's a tough fucking game. Puka and Devontae against that defense, yeah, they're probably going to be in another shootout. It's just like, maybe done is a stretch, but it's just like, fuck. Like, 1-3, like, that's tough to climb out of, especially in the AFC. Not saying they can't do it, but, like, it would be different if, like, they were losing, like, to other teams just playing so fucking good. They're losing off shit that they are doing bad. Like, they're losing games more than teams are beating them. The only time they got beat this year so far, Detroit beat the fuck out of them. They beat the fuck out of them. Kansas City handled them. Lamar can't beat Kansas City. Let's keep it a fucking
Let's talk about the fumbles then. Let's just, come on. I mean, it's the fumbles is why they lost their first 2 games. I was at least their first.
Mm-hmm. I just think they're just
fumbles in the defense being shit. Yeah.
They're a team.
They're a football team with 30-something points.
A team that couldn't find their offense all season. Dating back to last season, put up 37 on them. So I would say this is more of a Baltimore problem. Being hella hurt, already in a 1-3 hole. They're so fucking lucky that Joe Burrow's hurt. And the Bengals are shit. Because in that division, if the Bengals were healthy, if they just had Joe Burrow, that's just another threat. Because even last year, with how bad the Bengals defense was, they almost beat Baltimore twice in shootouts, but off missed field goals. So, like, in that division specifically, they're so fucking lucky the Bengals are hurt. That's the only life they still have, in my opinion. Because the Bengals don't go to 2-2. They're probably 3-1 if Burrow's there. They're men. That's my takeaway. I'm not going to say, maybe a stretch to say they're done, but they're in fucking trouble. They lose one of these. There's a real world where they're like 2-4.
5?
Yeah, like
2-4, 1-5. I mean, if they 1-5, obviously you're done. Like you're just cooked. So like,
no, look, you're right.
Lamar's health is fucking important. Obviously long term, but like, I mean, Derrick Henry. How old is Derrick Henry, man? This team's not young. Like,
this isn't like you have Tyler Huntley back there who can kind of do a little bit of the same as Lamar's being mobile in the pocket and shit.
Switch the whole fucking offense up. We got Cooper Rush coming in the game.
Rush back there, like
throwing it out of the pocket to Zay Flowers. But even when
Tyler Huntley was there, the defense was so fucking good to where like all Tyler Huntley didn't have to do was like turn the ball over. No, you have to score offensively to keep them. Their defense has to be a scheme and a DC thing because there's way too many fucking good players on that defense to be as bad as it is.
It is, but it's not a bad thing. What I'm going to say about this, look, I overreacted when you said they're done because I know, like, dude, they might be because what was just proven to us is that Lamar, my favorite player in football, he still can't beat Mahomes. He's beat Mahomes once, I think. He's 1-6 against him or something like that. What I think, though, is right now I look at this defense as there's so many good players, like you just said, and as I've seen in history a lot, there's been times where defenses get off to slow starts, and once them and their coordinators kind of get on the same page, we can see an improvement there. And if history's shown me anything, it's that Derrick Henry is going to be Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson is going to be Lamar Jackson. I think this team's going to get right back in a spot where they're just going to win this division easily. What now? Do I think that they're ready to be a contender right now? No, there'd have to be a major improvement to their defense for them to get to a point to where I still feel comfortable with this being the year where they beat the Chiefs. But no, like I don't want to overreact right now. Like we've had 2 catastrophic fumbles in a game where they lost to Detroit. Who knows if they beat them even if he doesn't fumble. And then Buffalo, you do beat them if he doesn't fumble. Your defense wasn't good in either of those games. We're talking about Buffalo, who's undefeated and the second best team in football right now that you should have beat. I just think it was a disaster of a game, and Lamar maybe got a little bit hurt, but I think they also were just like, hey, we're just going to bench him and move on. And I really think the Ravens are going to be fine. Their concerns are valid, but I think it's still just so early in this season. I know you can't say that forever, but if there's a time to turn it around, it's right now. And if that's the worst spot of their season, I still feel good about the Ravens. So I'm going to hold off on freaking out about the Ravens. But no, it's definitely concerning.
Well, considering there is a world where Lamar's banged up, and there's a world where they're 1-5 in these next 2 weeks. Texans and the Rams are their next 2 games. They're lucky they have them both at home. Texans have a tough fucking defense. They just did a shutout.
Yeah.
And the Rams could put up points on them in a hurry.
They're not losing 2 in a row.
I think they're going to be 2-4 after these next 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't think
they lose either. I don't think they lose both. I don't think they win both either.
They start 2-4. They're still going to win 11 games, bro. I'll be honest. If Lamar's healthy, they're still winning at least.
I mean, I don't even know.
I don't think they're winning.
I just know they had a tough schedule. You think they can win 9 of 11 games?
Are you still thinking you had Pittsburgh winning 11 games, and they already lost one they shouldn't have. So who do you got winning division? I mean, it's not a flex. I don't think it's a flex for me to say the right.
I think Pittsburgh's going to win it.
I mean, dude.
I think they're just going to be able to hold themselves afloat long enough.
So when Pittsburgh has a bad defense, it's that they can still win the division. But when Lamar Jackson's defense isn't playing good, and they have a great unit on paper, now they can't win the division, but Pittsburgh can.
He's hurt. They're giving up the most points per game, dog.
He's going to play. He's going to play this week.
Are you at the fucking stadium? How am I supposed to know?
No, but I'm telling you he's going to play.
Jesus Christ.
He's going to play.
He's questionable right now. He's questionable right now.
But I'm telling you he's going to play. If you're questionable on Tuesday, you're playing.
So
I'm telling you, bro. I think it's insane that we're just saying Pittsburgh can win the division over them, though. When
they're
their defense
3-1, they have the lead. They have the probably easier schedule. Their defense is better than Baltimore's.
So here's why I'm saying the Ravens are so fucking bailed out and so lucky because Joe Burrow's hurt. If Joe
and
Burrow
vice versa with the Bengals. The Bengals are lucky that the Ravens suck.
Because they still have to play each other twice. And the Ravens still have to play the Steelers twice. And the Ravens still have the Packers on their schedule. So I don't know. It's going to come down to the division games. But I feel like Steelers always play Baltimore so fucking well in the regular season. They always split in the regular season every year. I just think Pittsburgh is great at doing this. They win a lot early in the season, and they can just stay afloat long enough to be in the wild card. But in this situation, the Bengals are so fucking bad. And looking at the Steelers, they play the Bengals coming up. Let me go to the Steelers schedule. I just had it pulled up. Looking at their schedule, they had a win over the Vikings this past week. They play the Browns after their bye. Yeah, so they play the Browns after their bye. They got the Bengals, Green Bay. Those are their next 3. I see 2 more wins in there. I see 5-2 after these next 3 games they have. Because I think they're going to beat the Browns and they're going to beat the Bengals. I don't give a fuck who the Bengals bring the fuck in. They're not beating the Steelers. Now it does get tricky towards the end of the season. Like I said, it comes down to the division games because they got the Ravens twice at the end of the year. They got the Bills on here, and then they got the Lions on here, all in the group half of this back end of the schedule. So the Ravens aren't
all 4 of those games.
The Bengals aren't the Ravens aren't cooked, but they damn near have to win these next 2 for me to have them winning the division. Because Steelers are just going to stay afloat. They always do. They're just going to stay afloat.
So Corey, you're saying these next 2 games leave it open to that this might not be the lowest point of the Ravens season. Like, you think if they end up being 2-4, then we're seeing their low? Because right now, that's just maybe where we disagree, because I think right now is the absolute low point of this season. I think they win these next 2 games.
I think the Rams one's going to be tough.
Yeah, I respect the Rams. So, I mean, that's my Super Bowl. That was my preseason Super Bowl.
Was it really? Ravens?
Rams.
It's going to be the race to who can get to 11 wins. I think Pittsburgh might be in a better situation right now to get there than Baltimore. That's just my take. I'm not going to say
run the ball, man.
But their defense is just so fucking cooked for some reason. Like, it's just so bad. It's so bad. But we can get into, I kind of have another takeaway, getting into kind of like off topic, but like, I don't think the Jags are a good 3-1 team. That's my takeaway. Even though it's crazy because they should be 4-0.
No, they're not.
The Jags should realistically be 4-0.
I love the Jags.
But the Jags are.
I was just going to say that.
The Jags are a bad 3-1 team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think their defense is legit, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the Jags got a legit defense to me.
I just think the gap between them and the Seahawks being 3-1, I think it's there for sure. I think the Seahawks will look so much better.
You're right. I also think that the Steelers should have won that game, though. So I think they're a legit 3-1. But also, the only one thing I want to say about the Jags is Liam Cohen kind of makes me feel like there's an actual culture here, and I haven't really felt that from Jacksonville, even the year that they were in the playoff game with Lawrence. I feel like this is the first time where I feel like they have an actual culture. And Travis Etienne is balling out. So I'm still excited about
He's back.
Them. I'm still excited about them. But
they got KC next Monday night, so they could shut me the fuck up next week.
I love the Jags. I mean, they have evil Trevor Lawrence this year. I don't know if he's just gonna turn the ball over a lot.
He's just inconsistent, man. That's just so what he is.
Fucking Robert Saleh.
What do you guys think of Liam Cohen trying to fight?
I said he'd kill Liam Cohen. I said I'll fucking kill you. So wait a minute.
I mean, it's tough.
It seemed tough. Like to me, I don't know. It seemed very like play, like showmanship. I don't know. But like, if that was genuine, yeah, that was for me. That just felt weird from Liam Cohen. It's like he was just forcing it. But if not, if that was genuine, man,
he's being performative.
I mean,
I'm not even performative. Kind of like just like, hey, my guys need something. Let me just go yell at this guy for no reason. Like, I don't know if he was actually feeling the anger towards Robert Saleh or more just trying to get his boys hyped up. But
I got you.
Well, there's a real world where this 3-1 start goes to them being 3-4 because their next 3 games going into their bye are they got KC Monday night at home, then they go Seahawks at home, then they got Rams at home going into their bye. Damn. So that's tough 3 games. That could really turn my mindset on the Jags if they can fuck around and go 2-1 in that stretch. Right now, I don't know. I would have said the same shit if the Cardinals won that game. Like, that's a sloppy 3-0, 3-1. Like, that's just I'm not convinced on 3-1 from this team yet. Especially when the Jags should be 4-0 because they should have beat the Bengals. Like, the Jags should be 4-0.
Which is just weird. Like, the most, like, fraudulent 4-0. But, like, yeah, like you said, we'll see a lot. We'll see a lot from them in the next 3 weeks and be able to really, by the time their bye comes around, we'll see what this team really is.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do a takeaway. I'll try to keep it quick. I've been very upset about this game. This game had me actually like pissed the fuck off. So I'm just going to be positive from it. My takeaway, I think Ashton Jeanty proved that he's a legit back. And us getting Raheem Mostert involved in that run game really moved me. The reason I say it is because we're going to fucking need it. Because unless Geno Smith changes something up, we are going to need everything out of Ashton Jeanty and Raheem Mostert because we can not trust him right now. I love Geno Smith. I still believe in Geno Smith. I think he's a gunslinger and he can have these high passing yard performances. But we had no reason to lose that game. 1, the kick got blocked. We should have made a field goal to win the game. And then 2, he threw 4 fucking interceptions. 4 interceptions, 1 coming right out of half. Just, we cannot trust him. And even outside of that, sure, Trey Tucker's had some explosion performances, but Brock Bowers, I know he got a little banged up week 1. Brock Bowers has not been a big part of this offense. I don't just blame Geno for that. I blame Chip Kelly. I mean, look, our offense should be better than it was last year because of how bad our run game was. But if there's one thing that we were able to do last year, it was get Brock Bowers that ball because Brock Bowers is that special of a player. He needs to get more involved we're going to need to use our run game unless Geno can turn something around. So, listen, I don't even need to make this big takeaway about the Raiders as a whole because, 1-3 is kind of probably where everyone would have them at right now, even though we should be 2-2. We should have beat the Bears right there. That's not how this league works, but if anyone watched that full game, we should be 2-2. Not that it matters that much. I just wanted to come out here and say Ashton Genty's a legit back, and we're going to need him to be the rest of the year if Geno can't fix this shit. Geno needs to be competing for his job every fucking practice this week.
Before Nick goes, I would say this says more about the fucking Bears than it does the Raiders. Because Geno had 4 picks, and, the Bears could have lost still.
Should have lost. What is this? Where do the Bears do miracles? You get a block kick off the edge.
I'm watching this game with Isaac, and it's 14-9, and Geno threw another pick. I'm like, so you mean to tell me he has 3 picks, and you guys have 9 fucking points?
Max Crosby could be the fucking decoy this year.
I'm like, this says more about the Bears than anything about the Raiders. You had a game where the opposing quarterback threw 4 fucking picks, and you should have lost. What is this? I know it's early in the Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams thing. The Bears are not good.
No.
You let any team get a opposing quarterback giving you the ball 4 extra times off picks. It should be a blowout. It shouldn't be close. Geno threw the 4 picks, and the game was still in balance with seconds left.
You were losing with seconds left.
This was the most...
Yeah, you're about to win.
Yeah.
This is the most Bears-ass thing ever. Because Bears fans everywhere are going to be like, Bears got a dub, Bears get this win, blah, 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 you're 2-2. No, the Bears aren't good. Geno gave you the ball 4 fucking times, and you couldn't even blow a team out. You had to win off a blocked field. Let's just stop.
Fucking clip this.
This shows, more about the Bears side of things and being actually fucking bad, rather than the Raiders being bad. Yes, the Raiders have 4 picks. The Raiders have 4 picks and damn near won the game. Is that more on the Bears or the Raiders? It's more on the Bears. I just think the Bears are bad. I hate going into every week and it's the Bears have this slight hope because they're 2-2 and they just had this miracle. They're going into their fucking bye and they got fucking Washington. Stop. Washington's probably going to put fucking belt. I just think it's more alarming that the Bears got 4 picks off Geno and they barely won again. They had to block a field goal to win the game. Getting these. They're basically fucking arm punts from Geno.
You're making me feel good about the Raiders if Geno plays good. Just saying, appreciate it.
He's Geno's a gunslinger, so you're gonna get these games. He's more Jameis than anything, realistically, because he's somebody who is gonna have these games, but he's 3 fucking weeks. It's gonna be in a prime time spot, and he's gonna throw for 350 and 4 tuds and no picks. That's just how gunslingers are. He's super up and down, very inconsistent, puts the ball in harm's way a lot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this is way more on the Bears than it is on the fucking Raiders throwing the picks. Because could you imagine if Geno threw 4 picks and the Bears still lost?
It'd be over. Oh my God.
But the saving grace of the Bears blocking a field goal, get the fuck out of my face.
I'm about to throw the fuck up if someone brings up that pick again. But yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead, Nick. I agree with everything you just said.
I don't have much to say. These teams suck. My Geno take might lose the job by the end of the year. It's looking good. I looked up Kenny Pickett's the backup. Now I look that up. It takes looking even better. Better.
I didn't even know
your take's going to be wrong, Nick. Your take's going to be wrong.
Kenny Pickett going to take over?
I just think
don't let him throw 3 picks next week. Don't let him throw 3 picks next week.
That's not going to happen.
6 picks, 10 interceptions, or 6 touchdowns.
Geno's going to have a comeback game against the Colts. The Colts are going to fall to 3-2.
I'm not agreeing with the next week thing, but I just agree. Whenever it gets bad, there's just going to be one defining game, and it's just going to bring him back to even. And then he's a gunslinger.
Geno's good
it's
enough
just
to keep
up
his
and
job.
down.
He'll keep his job. He's good enough for that. I might have been hyping him up too much before the year. He's too good to lose his job. I'm going to be honest.
We'll see. I do want to ask, Ashton Genty or David Montgomery? Who's better? Just straight up real quick.
I think that's tough to say with our
That's
line,
right
how
now,
bad it is.
We're taking Montgomery still?
Right now, Montgomery. I think Montgomery has just a pass protector as well, and play action is just better.
Bro, are we talking going for the next 2 years, or are we talking next week?
Just right now, I think.
If I have a game next week,
player
I'm
right
saying-
now. I was just having a conversation
if I
in the
got a
chat
game
earlier
next
this
week, give me. That's a good
I think
one.
Montgomery's
I don't
just good. Like I think if you
Montgomery's pretty good.
Montgomery's
I
really
think you
good.
could argue.
He has-
I was a
That's
hater
the
on
best.
Genty before the year, but I don't know.
I think Montgomery
Pretty
right
damn good.
now. Montgomery's just a dog, bro. Like Montgomery's just so
Nah,
good.
I ain't gonna lie. No, I think if you throw
here
Genty
we go.
on in Detroit's. Watch how
This
Genty
is what I
runs.
wanted.
If you
Oh,
put
no,
that,
he's a dude.
you want to talk about Sonic and Knuckles? How about Sonic and a motherfucking more elusive Knuckles, a better Knuckles? Yeah, if you
In
throw him
one.
in that system with Gibbs, I think it gets crazy too. But that's no shout out to Montgomery. He's actually had a crazy season. That Ravens game was amazing.
Yeah,
he's a dog.
Genty's so
That's a
good.
tough-
When
yeah.
Genty runs,
Genty's
like,
hella
he
good.
just
I think you guys
a
can use
fucking
him just
bowling
even
ball.
more.
He's more like Camaro.
I know, but-
Like just his contact balance is insane. Just he can just take a hit and just still be on balance.
Yeah, no,
he's
his
more
balance.
he's more Camaro than like a Montgomery comparison.
Oh,
to
for
be
sure,
honest,
for sure. I wasn't even trying to compare him
Montgomery
Yeah,
falls
as a
forward.
player.
I know what you're saying.
Montgomery.
I
I think
just- they both
Montgomery
are
is just
He's a
Physical
bruiser.
as shit.
yeah. He's just really. They're both really good. That's a tough one.
He's not a power back. He doesn't like to be called a power back.
He's a running back. Yeah,
He's a
I
running
saw
back.
that clip too.
running back.
Nick, do you have another takeaway?
Not off the top of my head if someone has one, but I can look at this real quick and find it.
Man, I'll just say, man.
I have a small one.
Where's
Small
Tyreek
one.
Hill?
Oh, yeah, I do have a small one. Not saying he's the guy by any means, because they can go into this next draft and draft a quarterback. Spencer Rattler's been solid. That's all I gotta say. Spencer Rattler's been okay.
I
That's
agree.
all I gotta say.
I like
He's
Spencer.
been solid. He's been solid. For what he has with the Saints and kind of what they have to work with, going into Buffalo and kept it close most of that game. I mean,
Mhm.
the spread was like 16.5, but like, I think he's been solid. Not saying he's the guy, but he's been solid for sure.
Not even saying not even trying to take away credit from them. It just kind of shows are we still a little bit worried about what this Bills defense could look like against better competition late in the year?
I think this is
Just
also
because they
like,
look so.
That's fair.
I mean, I know it's the Ravens, but they looked bad against the Ravens.
I just think this
Kept
was
it
a
close against the Saints.
perfect trap game. Perfect trap game.
Finally, Josh Allen did finally throw in interceptions,
Yeah.
some turnovers finally.
More so my last before we get off the Saints, but like if they win to next year's draft and didn't draft a QB, because I know this QB draft coming up is like very shaky, and they just went with Rattler for another year and addressed something else, like I wouldn't even be too fucking
You just
mad about it.
gotta address that fucking roster more. So
yeah.
I'm
Just
okay with them
get
keeping
talent,
Allen.
even if it's not a quarterback, just get talent. But that's all
Yeah.
I have about the Saints, because I was a little bit more tapped into that Bill Saints game because it was a little bit closer. Just I just thought he looks fine. We can kind of get into the night game. Cinema again on Sunday night, a fucking tie. But the only takeaway I really have is if Dak Prescott plays like this, they can beat any team. Like they can beat Jordan Love got so bailed the fuck out. It's actually fucking crazy. If that second goes off the clock and they lose that game, oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
Even
already
then-
treating it as a loss.
Cowboys won the tie. Packers lost the tie.
Oh yeah, easy dub by the Cowboys.
Dak's just playing elite fucking ball. He's just playing elite fucking ball. The pass to Turpin down the sideline, like under pressure,
Fucking
like
insane.
he's just playing elite ball. Anybody who swears to God like Dak Prescott isn't what he is. He's everything Dak Prescott is. When he's healthy and able
Well,
to
let's
move in the
not
pocket,
forget
he's
they
great.
just got blown out by the Bears. So I don't know if they could beat anyone in the league, but Dak is playing like an MVP.
I mean, Dak didn't even play bad. Didn't play terrible.
No,
in that
I'm not
Bears
saying
game.
that. Yeah, he's been great, but they can't
Yeah.
play anyone in the league. Packers might just be
No,
fucking
yeah, I mean, that might be a
frauds.
little far just because that defense is so bad. Like,
I think if you have CD Lamb and Pickens with Dak playing like that and the run game being solidified now with Javonte, like offensively they can be in a game with anybody. And
O-line is so good. O-line's gotten
Schottenheimer,
a lot better.
a lot of flack on Schottenheimer. He was in his absolute fucking bag this game. Like the packages and
He
shit that
was.
they were coming up with. And Pickens can be an inconsistent receiver, but man, when he's fucking on, it's up.
There's not many
It's
people
cinema.
better.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch when he's on. That's a fact. That was
Yeah.
awesome. That
I
tutty
think
where he turned back to the middle, bro, that shit was fucking fire. That tutty he had at the end of the game
He's
was
such a
sick.
dog, dude.
I think I said it a little bit. I never really fully committed to the take, but I think the Cowboys won the trade. I think they did. I think they won the trade. I believe that in 2 to 3 years, they will have won the trade.
I mean, Micah had a game-saving touchdown at the same time. I'm just saying.
The tackle.
Yeah. Like, it's not like I feel like this doesn't have to be about Micah. This doesn't have to be about Micah. The Packers.
I mean,
the Packers
it's
got
not,
other problems.
I think it's honestly just fine for both teams. I think Micah's going to end up being like a huge saving grace for them down the stretch. I think Kenny Clark is mid as fuck, but can get some okay pressure. But yeah, those 2 draft picks will come in handy. I think it'll just be fine because it's just of how much his price tag is. We couldn't afford him. We legit just could not pay him.
The NFL's so week to week. This team just, like, they still just tied this game. They didn't win this game. And then last week you get blown out by the Bears, who we were just pounding on also. So I just don't know. I think the Cowboys are exactly what Jerry wants them to be. They're just primetime television. They're fun to watch. They got good offensive players. I just can't. I'm not taking them too overly serious just because of this game. I mean, I knew the Cowboys could score 40 points. I knew they could score 40 points. I don't think they really showed me anything defensively. I think, honestly, Matt LaFleur was a shitty play caller that whole game. That might just be that.
I guess rewording it is, I would rather get what you got for Micah than pay him the money he just got and for the defense to still be bad. You know what I mean? Like last year, the defense wasn't anything crazy with Micah on the fucking team. Like when the defense was supposed to be at your best and the defense had Micah Parsons, who's supposed to be a top 5 defender in the game, the Packers, the same team, put 40 on them in Dallas, in the playoffs, in a big spot, and they had Micah in the box. So I'd rather get 2 extra firsts in a serviceable player in Kenny Clark than pay Micah Parsons, who's still getting shots to play in games, by the way, 50 fucking M's to still have my defense be shit. Because every time on the call in the Cowboys game, the one time the Cowboys don't get off the field on 3rd down, they bring up Micah Parsons. Could have used Micah. I'm like, let's not. I'm like, okay. Let's not act like Micah was out here and he's a great player, but we're not going to sit here and act like he has this Myles Garrett level impact to where he's just roughshotting an entire O-line.
That play was like the only thing he did all day.
Yes, he didn't do shit all fucking game because the Cowboys were ready and prepared for that with doubles and shit like that. But outside of that tackle on Dak, he didn't do shit all game, in my opinion. He had a couple pressures to change some throws from Dak Prescott downfield, but I didn't see Dak Prescott sweating because Micah Parsons was fucking rushing him. He was taking the rush like a veteran quarterback should.
A little bit, bro.
He looks a little tired.
He's playing hurt. He's playing hurt. He has a $50 million price tag playing hurt already.
He was down like they were in the red zone. He had to come in for that play that he got that tackle. He was out of the game before that play.
And it could have been nerves, like big time game for him coming back to Dallas and shit. Like a lot more could have been going into it for sure. But it's just like, if I'm the Cowboys going into this, I'd rather have what I have from the trade because Micah Parsons could be on this defense and it could still be shit.
It'd still be probably pretty bad.
So I'd rather not pay him that money, get 2 first-round picks and a serviceable defensive player, and still have my defense be the way it is. But I'm better set up for next offseason and the offseason after that. Because if you paid Micah that money, you have no wiggle room to get better. So I think long-term, both teams probably won this trade long-term. But I like Dallas' side a little bit more because of what they can do now defensively to revamp. And I think Eberflus and his scheming could be a little bit more of a reason why the defense is as bad as it is at the moment. So that's what kind of my takeaways. Like, I just think I like the spot the Cowboys are in because offensively they're fine because they found a run game now. They have weapons everywhere. They utilize everybody really, really well. If they can go into next offseason and just address the defense, I think they're just going to be fine. Now they have the cap space and the draft capital to do it. So, like, that was just kind of my takeaway. And Jordan Love got bailed. I think we see Love get bailed a fucking lot in his career for kind of the conversation Jordan Love gets himself into.
Yeah.
Because he
also just does not have a number one.
No.
For God's sake, would someone step up and beat the guy? We'll see Matthew Golden make one good catch, and then he just does nothing the rest of the day.
It's also the Packers thinking Matthew Golden was going to come in as a rookie and be their number one. Like, there was guys that they could have went and got. Like, he's good.
He is good, but I thought it was going to be more, like, evident.
They are also missing Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed being out. But like, Jaden Reed also, like, is somebody who's inconsistent.
He's a gadget. He's not reliable. I think Tatum Reed's a lot better than people act like because he has stinker games and people expect him to be like this. He's just a gadget. He's as simple as what he is right now. He's not a wide receiver.
Shit, Tucker Kraft, they're damn near most consistent option. Him and he loves Dobbs.
Dobbs had a crazy good game. Dobbs is his red zone guy for sure, but I mean,
that's the only thing I think this team's missing though. Like, if they had a number one guy that could just win downfield, it'd be so different. But like, they just don't really have that. It's where like Jordan Love has to play this kind of hero style in games like this and shootouts. Because Josh Jacobs, I know he had the touchdown late, but they were doing a good job on Josh Jacobs for the majority of the game.
Yeah, it is rush yards.
It was
a sweat.
But other than that last tutty, like he was kind of put in the box.
Overtime game, he should have.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's kind of all I had for Sunday night. We can kind of touch on Monday night. Mainly, the Bengals are cooked. I don't think anybody. They could probably bring somebody in and move the ball better, but it's just like, I don't know.
Jamar could not get the ball. I mean, Jamar was locked most of the game. And also, Jake Browning is fucking terrible. Whatever he was doing in that Jacksonville game, I don't know where that's been because I don't know how they beat Jacksonville in that one game. But they cannot do anything. They cannot do anything with the ball. And Chase Brown, listen, I drafted him in fantasy this year. Was excited about him. He finally had an okay rushing into me, but I thought he was going to be way more explosive. I'll be honest, dude.
This is also a tough fucking game against Denver.
You're right,
yeah,
but I mean, we just saw Quentin Johnson. I wasn't here last week. I don't know if y'all talked about it. I was hearing things that Quentin Johnson was kind of cooking PS2, so I was still thinking the Bengals maybe PS2. I don't know what's going on. No, I mean PS2 was looking like a star all night, but
I saw some tweet that he wasn't having a good year before this game. Yeah.
Yeah, Quentin Johnson, I think, was cooking his ass. I actually didn't see much of that, but
watching cornerbacks, like you're just gonna go through spots where you just kind of do it. Like it's the other than quarterback,
like you're not always gonna be perfect. Like you're not gonna just stop everybody every single time.
Yeah. Like he had an outlier of a season-winning DPOY last year in general because he was so elite, and I still think he's by far and away the best corner in the league. So like, I think I don't know. I'm kind of up and down on Denver as well. So like, Bengals, I just damn near want to see them bring in Jameis just to at least bring some fantasy life back to T. Higgins because I have him in multiple leagues. Just because I know James will just throw that bitch downfield. Jake Browning just isn't the guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just if this doesn't tell them that to go get somebody else as a backup, if you're gonna have Joe Burrow, like
who is it?
I don't know, but it's not this fuck. My God, this dude has shown numerous times.
Don't they have Mike White?
Hell no,
it's not him either.
I saw a Derek Carr jersey edit. It looked kind of tough.
I don't know.
A Derek Carr jersey edit. Derek Carr jersey edit I saw on Twitter. It looked kind of tough. But he retired.
Hell no. Yeah, hey, the Raiders probably still have his fucking rights. They still got him locked down, bro. Or the Saints, not the Raiders.
I think Jameis would be the most fun. Russ, I would be like, God, but Russ go have this one like 400-yard game with Jamar Chase.
I'm cool off Russ.
Jamar Chase might 200 yards at least once.
I'm cool off
Russ. I can't even think of who would be like.
I think Jameis. I think Jameis would be the most fun. I'd be tapped in if it was Jameis.
I know everyone keeps saying that though, and it just feels like there's no way he gets traded. For some reason, it feels like he just doesn't get traded. He should for a lot of these offenses. What
about a little Anthony Richardson?
Now we're talking. Anthony Richardson for a third-round pick.
I mean, Shedeur Sanders has to be giving you more than Jake Browning. Got to be giving you more than Jake Browning.
Has to.
Shit, you're going to get more people watching the game. You bet that.
Joe Milton. Take him.
AR would be funny just because he'd have two explosive rushing games and you'd be like, Oh
my God, the Bengals are here. Oh my God, this dynamic offense.
But no, I just think they're cooked. No matter who they bring in, I just think Jameis would be a fun watch. Just bring a little bit more life to that team because they're completely defeated right now. But I will say, this just shows how
they're number one. They're 2-1 though, or 2-2. I mean, sorry, they're still 2-2. It's not like they're like
who they got next week.
It's not like they're 0-4, 1-3. Like they got in an okay position right now.
No, they're their next three. Detroit, Packers, and Steelers are their next three. So
it feels like everyone in the league has a fucking hard schedule.
They're about to be.
They're about to be cooked. But God. I don't know. Kind of the only we can talk about the Tyreek Hill shit a little bit because that is tough as fuck. But I always thought Miami was cooked. But without Tyreek Hill rest of the year, that is fucking tough.
Yeah.
I think Mike McDaniel called a good game. The Jets penalties were the worst. That was the hardest game to fucking watch ever. It felt like the Jets got penalty every other play.
Dude, both of those games
I didn't watch
were
much of the Broncos.
Penalty.
I couldn't
the same guy on the Broncos O-line had like 15 penalties. Yes,
Wattenberg, get him out of here. Get the dude off the field.
I couldn't watch a Bo Nix, Jake Browning game, so I honestly was not as tuned into that one as the first game. The Jets penalties were so sad, but I mean, shout out Mike McDaniel getting a win. My Dolphins are in the win column. Fuck.
The only thing I have on the Jets is I still think Fields is good enough to be the guy. Garrett Wilson is so fucking good.
Insane catch.
So fucking good. It's just
stupid OPI also.
I just think eventually this team can put it together. I'm high on Aaron Glenn. I still like Fields. I like Garrett Wilson. I think eventually they've got to add a little bit more talent to that defense. But like the resurgence of Breece Hall as well, I think they're trending in the right direction. But I think this was always going to be a figure out what we are kind of year and figure out what we need to address in the offseason kind of year.
Yeah, I mean, they get no pass rush. They get no pass rush, and you're not like if you're that's how you beat Tua. Like if you can get a good pass rush on Tua, you're gonna whoop his ass, and they didn't. So Tua was able to play fine and win the game. That's kind of what happened last night to me. But like big picture, it's not that big of a deal because, like you said, it was a figure it out year, and it's not like you're gonna have to worry about firing Aaron Glenn. It's year one. Let's address stuff in the offseason. That Justin Fields run, by the way, that's why we watch him and love him. That was amazing. Mm-hmm. Garrett Wilson's awesome. I honestly kind of like left this game like the penalties were terrible, but I still kind of feel good about the Jets going forward. It's insane to say. I'm going to agree with you on that, Corey. Like, I kind of see some positives versus why it used to feel like there was nothing. Like Aaron Rodgers last year when they lose games, it was like everyone still expects you all to make the playoffs. This is just nasty. And right now it's like, I don't think you're going to be good anyways. It's kind of fun to watch Fields. Just keep throwing to Garrett Wilson.
Hoop, yeah. I will say, I'm not even going to go in on this take, but like, Tyreek Hill out rest of the year, like with the drama that Tyreek Hill has brought to the Dolphins, like for them it could be a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Obviously losing Tyreek Hill is tough, but it's just like he can we know how Tyreek Hill can kind of fucking be at times. Like maybe this is just like a locker room moments where like you don't have all this drama and this kind
quiet
of like
it down a little bit.
Yeah, just quiet the locker room down a little bit because Tyreek Hill 2-3 years ago was talking about how Tua is the most accurate quarterback he's ever played with, and then all of a sudden shit's on him all the time now, it seems like. So maybe it just quiets down that locker room a little bit. And looking at, they got the Panthers next week, and then the Chargers the week after, so a little bit of light because I know the Chargers are dealing with some O-line shit now because Joe Alt's now hurt, like, so now they're dealing. So you never know. You never know. I'm not going to say they're going to turn the corner and turn the season around, but maybe that locker room gets a little bit more quiet and they sneakily, quietly kind of put together some more wins.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darren Waller, 2 touchdown game and got the onside kick recovery.
He looked good. I know it's game 1 and kind of hard to scheme for somebody like Darren Waller who we haven't seen play in so long, but it's just like he just looked so good. Like he's like the big body target that they haven't had in Miami downfield, really.
Well, they had Johnny last year and let him go.
Yeah. So now Darren Waller, 6'6", like he just seems like he fits perfectly in like the play action game and just over the middle of the field. Yeah. But I don't know. That's all I really had in my takeaways. We can get into the power rankings to wrap up this episode. So last week's rankings, we had Philly at 1, Bills at 2, Lions at 3, Chargers at 4, Tampa Bay at 5, Rams at 6, Commanders at 7, Green Bay at 8, Colts at 9, Baltimore at 10. On the new rankings, we have Philly at 1, Bills at 2, Lions at 3, Rams at 4, Tampa at 5, Kansas City at 6, Jacksonville at 7, Chargers at 8, Seahawks at 9, Colts at 10 to go into week 5. Anything else you guys want to add before we close out the episode? Thank you guys for tuning into the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope to see you tune in to future episodes.